Morning guys! Started searching on my iPad to see how many reviews are there of the SMO 4K from Insta360 in cooperation with bitrate FPV. It was a bit disappointing to me that a few guys already had. There's a few of you out there that watch my videos anyway. So I will do a few of those comparing still shots, because then you can compare the details of the camera better, because YouTube does compress with the codec. So if you don't have a lot of moving stuff on your video, you can compare the sharpness better. I also did a lot of flying already and will continue to, and you will also see me trying to get the most quality out of the SMO by, of course, using the Insta360 Stabilization software that comes free with it, and by also trying to apply the Superview script from Neek. Oh, and freezing my hand off in the cold. We have -6 Celsius here. You're welcome. Okay, soon to arrive on the bridge where I do my next little image quality comparison in the sun already. Okay, zoom in now on the building, the roof, compare the sharpness. For a comparison, let's see how the GoPro Hyper Smooth in 4K 30 16:9 works versus the Insta360 stabilization that you apply in post. So in the flow state, working quite nicely already, but I never compared it side to side or side by side with the GoPro. It's not too much stabilization work, but I'm walking, getting out of breath. Some close-ups of the little cam.
When changing the back cover, the one without the screw hole, I took a closer look inside. It looks nice and tidy. On the side there is the SD card and the power socket. Okay, so that's the first test flight with the Gopro7 in Superview mode, 4K 30 without ND filter on my trusty old Sector 5. Trying to fly the standard round here in our wintry Glocknitz.
So I removed my standard GoPro mount from the copter. There's stick tape and there's one zip tie securing this foot here. And now I will have an easy time sliding this on the copter here. Mounting it this way with the battery worked rather nice. I have added a double-sided tape to have some more friction, because with that you can adjust the angle of the camera quite easily. I have removed the ND filter because the GoPro also had no ND filter.
First, let's start with the original resolution. I used a 4000 by 3000 4:3 aspect ratio, maximum resolution, so to say. You see the vignetting from the ND filter around the edges. Maximum resolution 30 frames, gives us some room in post to zoom in, to move up and down, or to use the Superview, as I will do later. The second thing here is created using the Insta360 Studio, stabilized, and I've used the FPV mode. So you have a couple of modes there, like ultra wide, wide, linear, narrow, and FPV. And FPV does already something quite similar to a Superview mode, I guess, but we still lack the vertical resolution a bit. On the third attempt here, I have the 4:3 aspect ratio, the 4000 by 3000, and threw it into the Neek script, the Superview script, and it looks super weird. Yeah, so it's the FPV stabilization and the Neek script, and that's too much in my opinion, but yeah. Maybe it looks like real steady. What do you think? In this shot you see the different FOV options quite good. With ultra wide we have this typical GoPro barrel distortion. In wide it's just zoomed in a bit. In linear it is very much zoomed in, but the bars here are straight as they are supposed to. Narrow, yeah, it's useless for my applications. And the FPV has kind of both. It's as wide as the ultra wide if you compare it, but it makes the center smaller, but everything is straight lines. On movements, on sideways movements, this looks super weird, because this is quite stretched, this is small. So I'm not too sure about using FPV mode all the time. I rather use the ultra wide because I'm used to this. And also the subject is just larger in the middle. This is the first flight ever with the InstaSMO. I packed it on my Chimera 4, and this is a little copter and it was really windy, so the stabilization, the flow state from Insta360 works really well. I really like how the footage looks, by the way. No Jello. This is soon to be sunset, not very bright, and still using ND16 filter. As you see here over the field, you see a lot of motion blur, which makes it look awesome. And Again, this is 4:3 footage, cropped to 16:9, so I can move up and down if I have to. And finally, I will hope you enjoy some beautiful scenes with sunlight flying up here in the mountains a bit, in a little mountain village. I'm not super happy about the Jello, even though I was using an ND16 filter. And I was still shooting in the 4:3 mode and cropping into 16:9. I'm not sure if it would have less Jello in 60 frames mode, 60 frames and 16:9, rather conventional modes of shooting. I will have to test this, but color, sharpness, all looked very, very nice here. All but the Jello, but it's not always visible. Very, very nice. February the 5th. Like 10 degrees or so and sunlight. That's awesome. Didn't have to use my gloves to fly, which is a bonus. Flew the Sector 5 with the InstaSMO 4K. I had 2 shutdowns. On the first time it just was off when I landed. I thought, okay, my balance plug thingy here unplugged because it was a bit skewed. On the second time I did it, it was perfectly plugged in. I could restart it by turning it on, but it just turned off. And no, it didn't overheat because this case was really, really cold. So I don't know about this. Reliability, not a big bonus on this one. Of course, in bright conditions like today, I use the ND16 filter that it comes with. I like it. I love the mount that I came up with. It's just a single piece of plastic and a zip tie to adjust my angle. Works great. But as I said, the reliability is not so great. The flight times are super cool. I mean, I have GoPro-like quality now with only a weight penalty of 40 grams. I can live with that, so that's really cool. I hope you enjoyed the curvy style
cruising around here as much as I did. I could have flown 2 or 3 packs more. It's always the question, how much packs do you charge? You want to discharge them later at home, which is lame. So I got 4 packs. And I do it like this. I see my Excel flight log and I count the times that I used the packs. With that being said, thanks a lot for watching. Sun is about to set, but it's been a great sun. Thanks a lot for being subscribers, for being patrons even, for coming along this journey with me. FPV has evolved so much, and it's at the point where it just works, and that's really nice. You can go up quite far on a hill and not be so scared anymore. That's nice. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. For now.